Sirens
Move, coming
screamed
through.
through the night
It's
as
critical.
Elena
Get out of the
ran.
way.
Her shoes slapped
Almost there.
against the
Hold on.
hospital floor, breath
Move,
tearing
coming
from her
through.
lungs.
It's
Fingers
critical. Get out of the
clenched
way.
around a folder thick
Almost
with
there. Hold
unpaid
on.
bills. Please, she gasped to the nurse rushing past. Don't stop her treatment. I'm begging you. Her voice cracked. Her heart pounded so violently she thought she might collapse before she reached her room. Not her. Anyone but her. I can't lose her. Inside the ward, her little sister lay motionless under white lights, machines beeping in steady warning. Elena gripped the rail of her bed. I'm here, she whispered. I won't let anything happen to you. I promise. But her promise sounded fragile even to her own ears. That night her parents waited at the dining table like judges delivering a verdict. A photograph sat between them. A young man in a tailored suit stared back from glossy paper, sharp jaw, sharper eyes. Her mother slid it toward her. His name is Dominic Hale. His family owns half the financial district. Elena didn't sit. Why are you showing me this? Her father folded his hands. Because you're going to meet him tomorrow. Her stomach tightened. No, you don't understand, her mother said, voice thin with strain. This is our chance. To do what? Sell me. Elena shot back. I'm not a contract you can sign away. Her father's voice hardened. Your sister. That girl in the hospital is dying. Love won't pay hospital bills. Pride won't buy medicine. Silence slammed into the room. Silence slammed into the room. Elena's fingers curled slowly at her sides. You want me to lie to him. We want you to save your sister. Her chest burned. She wanted to scream, to flip the table, to run. Instead, she whispered, and if I refuse? Her father didn't blink. Then start planning a funeral. The word stabbed straight through her ribs. She closed her eyes. I don't have a choice. I never did. Fine, she said hoarsely. I'll go. Across the country the next evening, Dominic Hale stood beside a rooftop glass railing high above the Seattle skyline, jaw tight, fingers drumming against the metal. Say it again, he told his father over the phone. You want me to marry a stranger for business leverage? Yes, his father replied calmly. And you will. Dominic let out a humorless laugh. You're asking me to sell my life. I'm asking you to secure your future. My future isn't a transaction. His father's tone sharpened. Everything is a transaction, including love. Dominic's grip tightened on the rail. I won't do it. A pause. Then quietly, dangerously, refuse, and I'll make sure the girl you're meeting tomorrow regrets ever crossing our path. The call ended. Dominic stared at the dark screen. You don't scare me, he muttered, though his pulse had quickened. What kind of man threatens a stranger? His father did. Always had. The next night, Elena stepped onto the rooftop restaurant, wind tugging strands of hair across her face. She spotted him instantly. Tall, still, watching her like he was calculating probabilities. She sat slowly. So, she said, forcing calm in her voice, which part of this do you hate more? Me or the arrangement? His lips twitched. The arrangement. Definitely the arrangement. Her shoulders loosened a fraction. Good, because I'm only here out of desperation. And I'm only here under threat, he replied. She blinked. Threat? He nodded once. So let's stop pretending. He leaned closer, voice low. We fake this. We convince them we're in love. Then we buy time until we can both escape. Elena studied him carefully. Can I trust him? I don't even know him. But I don't have another option. Fine, she said. We pretend. But understand something, Dominic. I'm not playing for fun. I'm playing for someone's life. His expression shifted, curiosity flickering. Then we're both playing for survival. If you're already hooked and want to see how far this dangerous deal goes, don't forget to like and stay till the end, because this is only where the real game begins. Elena's fingers trembled around the torn check pieces as she stepped out of the Varelli estate gates. The cold night air hit her face, but it wasn't the weather that made her shiver. It was humiliation. It was rage. It was heartbreak she refused to let spill down her cheeks. You think I'm ashamed of you? Dominic's voice echoed in her head from hours earlier. She swallowed hard. You should be, she had told him. Eat. I pretended. I let you believe I was someone worth your world. And he had answered quietly, You are. Her chest tightened at the memory. She had barely reached the sidewalk when headlights cut across her path. A black sedan rolled to a slow stop beside her. The window lowered. "Miss Hale," a familiar female voice called sweetly. "Need a ride?" Elena froze. Chloe, her closest friend, the only person who knew everything. Elena's stomach dropped. "What are you doing here?" Chloe leaned her elbow out the window, lips curved. "Cleaning up your mess." A chill crept up Elena's spine. "What does that mean?" "It means," Chloe said calmly, "I told them." Silence. Traffic hummed somewhere in the distance, but Elena heard nothing except her own heartbeat pounding. "You told them what?" Chloe smiled wider. "Everything. The fake dates. The debt. Your sister. The jobs. The lies. Dominic's parents deserved to know who their son was wasting his time with." Elena stared, disbelief burning into anger. "You promised you wouldn't." "I promised I'd support you," Chloe corrected smoothly. "Not watch you trap a billionaire." "I never trapped him." Elena's voice cracked. "I never asked him for anything." "Exactly," Chloe said. "That's why you're a fool." Those words hit harder than any slap. Elena's fists clenched. "Why?" Chloe shrugged. "Because opportunity is rare. You had the chance to escape poverty forever. Instead, you played saint. I simply redirected fate." Elena's throat tightened. "You betrayed me." "No, Truedi played softly. I saved you from yourself." The car window slid up. The sedan drove away. Elena stood frozen on the curb, chest rising and falling fast, betrayal spreading through her veins like poison. She felt something inside her crack. Not weakness, not sadness. Trust. And for the first time, she understood something terrifying. The world wasn't cruel because of strangers. It was cruel because of people you loved. Back inside the Varelli estate, Dominic stood rigid in the center of the grand hall while his parents' voices cut through the air like knives. "She lied to you," his mother said coldly. "She survived," Dominic replied. His father's jaw tightened. "She deceived this family." "She protected her family," Dominic shot back. His mother laughed sharply. "You sound pathetic." Dominic's hands curled slowly into fists. "You don't know her." "Oh, we know enough," his father said. "A poor girl pretending to belong. Classic manipulation." Dominic stepped closer, voice low. "If she wanted money, she would have taken yours." That made his father pause. "She didn't," Dominic continued. "She tore your check, right in front of you." His mother's expression hardened. "A performance." "No," Dominic said quietly. "Integrity." Silence filled the room. Then his father said something that made Dominic's chest tighten. "You will end this. Tonight. Or I will." Dominic's voice dropped. "That's not your decision." His father's gaze sharpened. "Everything tied to this family is my decision." Dominic felt it then, the shift, the power move, the threat behind the words. And for the first time in his life, he realized something chilling. This wasn't about status. It was about control. "You don't own me," Dominic said. His mother's voice turned icy. "We own your future." Dominic met her stare. "Not anymore." He turned and walked out. Behind him, his father's voice rang out. "If you walk out that door for her, don't come back." Dominic didn't stop, didn't slow, didn't turn. The door slammed shut behind him. Outside, night swallowed him whole. Across town, Elena sat alone on a metal bench outside the hospital, staring at the glowing windows of Tulip's room. Her hands rested in her lap, still clutching scraps of paper from the destroyed check. She whispered to herself, voice barely audible, "I did the right thing, didn't I?" "You did." She looked up sharply. An old man stood beside the bench. Her breath caught. "Sir," it was him, the quiet elderly customer she'd fed for free every night at the diner. He smiled gently. Kindness always feels expensive in the moment. Her eyes stung. "I might have ruined everything." "No," he said softly. "You proved who you are." She swallowed. "And what if who I am isn't enough?" The old man's eyes sparkled knowingly. "For the right person, it's everything." Footsteps sounded behind her. A voice she knew. "Elena." Her heart stopped. Dominic stood there, breathless, eyes searching hers like she was the only thing anchoring him to the earth. And for the first time since the betrayal, hope flickered. Dominic's chest rose and fell as he stared at her, like he'd run through the entire city just to reach that bench. Elena stood slowly, her voice barely steady. "You shouldn't be here." "I should be exactly here," he said. She shook her head. "Your parents don't decide my life." The firmness in his tone made her lips part. He stepped closer. "You think I came because I pity you?" She didn't answer. "Say it," he pressed. Her voice cracked. "Why else would you come after everything you found out?" His jaw tightened. "You still don't get it, do you?" Silence stretched. "I came," he said quietly, "because you're the only person who's ever told me no." Her breath hitched. "You refuse my money. You refuse my name. You refuse my world," he continued. "Do you have any idea what that means to someone like me?" Tears burned her eyes. "Dominic." "It means," he said softly, "you see me. Not my last name. Not my bank account. Me." Her defenses wavered. Behind them, the old man rose from the bench. "I'll leave you too," he said gently, giving Elena a knowing nod before walking off toward the hospital doors. Dominic watched him go. "You know him. He eats at the diner," she whispered. "I give him food sometimes." Dominic glanced back at her, something unreadable crossing his face. "Of course you do." She frowned. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means you're exactly who I thought you were." Her voice dropped. "Poor." "No," he said. "Rare." Her heart slammed. "I should go," she said suddenly, panic creeping in. "This isn't your problem. My life is messy, complicated, embarrassing." Elena. Her name stopped her like a hand on her chest. "You don't scare me," he said. Her eyes searched his. "I scare myself." He stepped closer. "Good. That means you're honest." She swallowed hard, emotions tangling inside her. "Your parents hate me. They hate losing control. They offered me $10 million to leave you," she whispered. His expression darkened. "I know." Her voice shook. "They offered me a job, too. Executive level. Like I was something they could buy. And you tore the check." She blinked. "How do you know that?" "Because," he said quietly, "my father has never looked shocked a day in his life until tonight." A shaky breath left her. "I'm not worth a war between you and your family," she said. Dominic tilted his head slightly. "Funny. I was just thinking they weren't worth a war between me and my future." Her chest tightened. "You still don't understand," he went on. "They think money is power. But power is choice. And I choose you." Her voice came out small. "Why?" He held her gaze. "Because you'd choose me even if I had nothing." Silence. The weight of those words settled into her bones. Her lips trembled. "I don't want your world, Dominic. I just want peace." "Then we build our own world," he said simply. Something inside her broke open. Not painfully, safely. But before she could respond, hurried footsteps approached from the hospital entrance. A nurse rushed out. "Miss Hale." "Elena Spoon." "Yes." "You need to come. Your sister's condition just changed." Fear sliced through her chest. "Change how?" "Please," the nurse said gently. "Come now." Elena's heart started racing. She grabbed Dominic's sleeve without thinking. "Something's wrong." "I'm coming with you," he said instantly. They rushed inside together, shoes echoing down sterile hallways. Machines beeped in sharp, uneven rhythms as they entered Tulip's room. Elena's breath caught. Doctors surrounded the bed. Monitors flashed. Her sister lay still. Too still. "What's happening?" Elena cried. One of the doctors turned. Her oxygen levels dropped suddenly. "We're stabilizing her now." Elena's knees nearly gave out. Dominic caught her before she fell, steady hands gripping her shoulders. "Easy," he murmured. "I've got you." Her fingers clutched his shirt. "I can't lose her. She's all I have." "You won't," he said firmly. The machines beeped again. Faster. Then, "Steady." The doctor exhaled. "She's responding." Elena covered her mouth as tears spilled. Relief flooded her so fast she swayed. Dominic tightened his hold, anchoring her. "She's stable," the doctor confirmed. "But she needs surgery soon. Without it, this will keep happening." The room went quiet. Elena whispered, "How much time?" The doctor hesitated. "Not long." Her chest tightened like a vice. Dominic looked at the doctor. "Prepare the surgery." Elena turned sharply. "No." He blinked. "Elena." I said no. Her voice was soft, but unshakable. You don't get to fix this, she said, tears falling but chin lifted. This is my responsibility. My fight. Dominic held her gaze, and slowly, he nodded. Respect replaced argument. Then let me stand beside you while you fight, he said. Her lips parted. Emotion surged through her chest again. For the first time in her life, she didn't feel alone. And across the hall, unseen by either of them, a familiar figure watched from the shadows. Chloe. Her eyes narrowed slightly, and she smiled. Chloe stepped out from the shadows slowly, her heels clicking against the hospital floor with deliberate calm. Elena noticed first. Her relief-filled expression faded instantly, replaced by disbelief sharp enough to cut. You, Elena whispered. Dominic turned. His jaw tightened. You've done enough. Chloe tilted her head, unfazed. Have I? Because from where I'm standing, it looks like I'm the only honest person in this entire story. Elena's voice shook. Why are you here? To watch the ending, Chloe said simply. I like seeing how my decisions play out. Dominic's tone turned cold. You mean your betrayal? Chloe smiled faintly. Call it strategy. Elena stepped forward. You told him everything. You humiliated me. You almost destroyed the only good thing in my life. For what? For you, Chloe replied. Silence fell again. Elena laughed weakly. You expect me to believe that? Yes, Chloe said calmly. Because if I hadn't exposed you, you would still be pretending. Still lying. Still living a fantasy you didn't belong in. Dominic's eyes hardened. She belongs wherever she chooses. Chloe glanced at him, spoken like a man who's never had reality taken from him. Her gaze returned to Elena. You think love survives truth? I wanted you to see what happens when masks fall. Elena's hands trembled. You didn't test love. You tried to destroy it. Chloe shrugged. Same risk. Different outcome. Dominic stepped slightly in front of Elena. You're done here. Chloe studied him, then sighed. You know what fascinates me? You're still here. After everything. After the lies. After the scandal. After your parents disowned you tonight. Elena's head snapped toward Dominic. They what? He didn't look at her. It doesn't matter. Her voice rose. Dominic, they cut me off, he admitted quietly. Accounts. Access. Position. Everything. Her stomach dropped. Because of me? Because of them, he corrected. Chloe watched carefully, waiting for Elena to panic, to crumble, to step back. Instead, Elena inhaled slowly. Then she said something none of them expected. Good. Both Dominic and Chloe blinked. Elena lifted her chin. Now, they can't use money to control you either. Dominic stared at her. Chloe's smile faded. Elena's voice steadied. You lost wealth. I lost pride. We both lost comfort. But we didn't lose ourselves. She looked straight at Chloe. You did. The words hit. For the first time, Chloe's composure cracked. You think you won? Chloe said quietly. Elena shook her head. This was never a competition. Silence stretched. Then Dominic spoke, voice calm but powerful. You wanted to prove she didn't belong in my world. Congratulations. She doesn't. Chloe's lips curved slightly. Exactly. Dominic took Elena's hand. She belongs in mine. The meaning landed like thunder. Chloe's expression froze. Not anger. Not jealousy. Realization. She had tried to separate them and push them closer. She let out a soft breath. Well, she murmured, that's inconvenient. No one replied. After a moment, she turned and walked away, her footsteps quieter this time, confidence gone with each step. Elena watched until she disappeared. Then her shoulders sagged. Dominic gently squeezed her hand. You okay? She nodded slowly. Yeah. A pause. Then she laughed softly through tears. I think I finally am. Days later, sunlight streamed through the hospital window as Tulip sat upright, color back in her cheeks. Elena adjusted her blanket carefully. You're staring again, Tulip teased weakly. I almost lost you. I'm allowed to stare. Tulip smiled. You didn't lose me. Elena exhaled. No, I didn't. Dominic leaned against the wall nearby, sleeves rolled, looking nothing like a billionaire heir, and somehow more like himself than ever before. Tulip studied him. You know, you're not what I expected. He raised a brow. Disappointing? Terrifyingly sincere, she said. He chuckled. Elena shook her head. Don't encourage him. Tulip smirked. Too late. I approve. Dominic placed a hand over his chest dramatically. I've been accepted. I could die happy. Elena nudged him. You're not dying anytime soon. Good, he said quietly, eyes meeting hers. I've got plans. Weeks passed. The sisters' online fashion store launched with Dominic as silent partner. Not savior, not rescuer, just support. Orders came slowly at first, then faster, then nonstop. Word spread. Design sold out. Debt shrank. Hope grew. One evening, standing in their tiny studio, surrounded by fabric and sketches, Elena whispered, "We did it." Dominic shook his head. "You did it." She smiled. "We did it." Months later, beneath warm golden lights in a small garden ceremony, Elena stood across from him in a simple white dress. No billionaires, no elites, no power plays, just truth, just love. Tulip held the flowers beside her, glowing with health. Dominic took Elena's hands. No contracts, no conditions, just me. She squeezed gently. No lies, no masks, just me. I choose you, he said. I choose you, she answered. And this time, there was no audience to impress. Only a future to begin. If this story made your heart race, made you feel something real, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment your favorite moment. Was it the betrayal, the torn check, or the final choice? Because stories like this remind us of one thing. Money can buy power. Power can buy silence. But neither can buy a loyal heart.